In our first reading this morning from the first book of Samuel, we hear of the beginning of the kingdom of Israel having the first human king. Up to this point, God has been the king, and God has led them through the prophet. Now they have said to themselves, we want to be like other people. We want to be like the other nations around us. So Samuel, give us a king. You are getting old. You have appointed your sons as judges, and your sons are destroying the kingdom, if you will. They do not follow the precepts as you have done. So give us a king like the others in this general community around us, if you will. It made Samuel sad because he felt that they were rejecting him. But God said to Samuel, no, they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting me. I have been the king. But listen to the voice. Give them what they want. And so, the beginning of the end, so to speak, took place. Saul was anointed king over Israel. And you know the story. But they wanted to be like others. They saw the other kingdoms around them. They saw the king, and they wanted something that looked good. The grass appeared to be greener on the other side, and so they wanted to experience the greening of the grass. And someone would say, if you think the grass is greener on the other side, start watering your grass and it might be green. But they wanted to be like others. Someone have said, if you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, ask them where they are going so you will know how soon you will get there in some way. You want to be like the others. The Israelites wanted to be like the other kingdoms around them, and so they said to Samuel, give us a king. And God said to Samuel, listen to them, give them a king. They have rejected me, not you. Yesterday, I'm sure like me, you were taken by two events that were taking place in our country. On the one hand, I was taken by the gathering for the funeral of young Biden, 46 years old. All was before him, and death came. And so Joe Biden and the president and others gathered in Delaware to lay to rest someone whose life appeared to have been a star rising, if you will, and then the star was dim and the star went. I was reminded that no one is immune to that which is a part of us. In the midst of life, we are in death. I don't care where you rise to, I don't care who you are, death will come. When, where, or how, we may not know, but that much we know, that one day death will come. And yesterday, that family that had once suffered tragedy was once again dealing with tragedy. On the other hand, there were those who were gathered for the horse race. And by God, they were waiting for the 37 years to come to an end. And it did come to an end. And as I looked at those two events, I was saying to myself, which of us would have wanted to be Joe Biden yesterday? Or would have wanted to be the owner of that horse yesterday? We never want to be the person experiencing life tragedy. That's not what we aspire to. That's not what we want to be. The people of Israel did not want to experience what other nations were going through when they were suffering. They wanted to be like them because they looked like all was well. Yesterday, two events, two groups of people, one rejoicing, the other weeping, mourning, because life was changed. relationship, if you will. The relationship with God and his people was being changed so that Saul will become their king and they will have a relationship with a human king. Samuel was speaking to God on behalf of the people, and God said, no, let them have what they want. Relationship was being changed. Yesterday, on the one hand, relationship was once again being changed, being impacted. Joe Biden would never be able to call his son again and hear his voice. It was silenced. The rest of the family, the two young children, would not have a dad to watch them grow up. On the other hand, there were folks rejoicing. As a matter of fact, I was told, from the news report, the owner of the horse is a Jew, so they slept in the trailer to wait for yesterday because they couldn't drive to the racetrack because they're Jew. But at the end of the day, they didn't need the trailer. They would have had more money than they would to do with because now the horse had won. But rejoicing was taking place on the one hand, weeping and sadness on the other hand. But they were all about different forms of relationship. Keep that in mind and then listen to Jesus as he has to deal with relationship. He's busy doing what Jesus does best. Talking to people in parables and taking care of the needs of the community. And those who couldn't understand all that he was doing said, for him to be doing what he's doing, he has to be possessed. Amazing, isn't it? When we don't have an explanation for something, we find some way of explaining it. If Jesus is able to do all that he's doing and he's not doing it with us as the religious leaders, then he's doing it against us. He's possessed by the evil one. No, Jesus says, I'm not possessed by the evil one, because a house divided against itself will not stand. But he fast forwards that after speaking to them to get to the issue, in my opinion, about relationship. People are saying he's out of his mind. And the word gets to his mother and his brothers and his sisters. And so they come to get Jesus. Jesus, people are saying you're out of your mind. Come home. Come and rest, if you will. I'm not out of my mind. I'm in my right mind. And I'm doing my Father's will, if you will. But why are they saying you're out of your mind? Because I'm not doing what they want me to do. I am doing what the Father wants me to do. And because I'm doing what the Father wants me to do, they have a problem. They are out of their minds. I'm not. That would be Wilma explaining to Jesus' parents, but never mind that. Come on, Jesus. The word gets to him, but he doesn't hurry up to go. He's going nowhere. He still has work to do. Your mother, your brothers, and your sisters are calling for you. Who are my mother, my brothers, and sisters? Who are my relatives? It's not about biology. It is about the relationship of God. All those who do the will of the one who sent me are my brothers, my sisters, my mother, my father, and all of my relatives. Relationship is being changed. It's not based on biology. My mother are those who are sitting here listening to me. My brothers are those who are sitting here listening to me. My sisters are those who are sitting here listening to me. The ones who will get up and proclaim with boldness that Jesus is the Christ. That's for us now, not so much for the people he's speaking to. The ones who will become comfortable with Jesus Christ so that they can tell the world that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten. Those who do that are my brothers, sisters, mothers, and relatives, if you will. You and I are brothers and sisters of Christ. Called upon to proclaim with boldness the God who loves us so much that he gave us his only begotten, so that he could teach us how to live life and to live it in his fullness. How to relate to others, regardless of our blood relationship. We want to be like others, but shouldn't we be like the one who came and gave us life? The one who knows it all? I submit to you this morning, my brothers and sisters, that like the people of Israel, let us not be so much like the people around us. Let us be like the one who sits with us, the one who reminds us of the love of God in him, who is the Christ. Let us seek to emulate Christ in our daily walk with Christ. Let us proclaim with boldness the mercy and compassion of God, the God who forgives, the God who loves in spite of us. It is about relationship. It is about relationship with the God who knows us better than we know ourselves. So as you sit and listen to me this morning, who do you want to be like? I just gave you an imagery of two events taking place yesterday. Do you want to sit in the seat of Joe Biden and be the parent that have to bury a child? Or you want to be the owner of the horse? Which of those two events would you want to be part of? Which of those two men would you want to be? And some of you may see the need of them. Because in both cases, whether joy on the one hand or sorrow on the other hand, they are still a part of this life that we live. And I suspect as Joe Biden got off his seat and looked at that casket, he saw life going. And I suspect as the owner of the horse looked at the reward that is coming, he saw life coming. But is it really? Is it really? How much of headache and heartaches and pain will he have to deal with? I do not know. But for the moment, it was about joy. Something is won. The people of Israel could not have imagined what they were asking for when they said to Samuel, give us a king. But in the end, they will cry out to God for mercy when the king that they wanted really began to lead them in ways that they could have never imagined or comprehended. Isn't that it? We are here today, we know this moment. We don't know the next. It's about relationship. The people of Israel, relationship with God, and in the process, their relationship with their king Saul. On the other hand, Jesus is saying, no, my mother, my brother, my sisters are those who do the will of the one who sent me. Those who will go out and proclaim God's mercy, love, and compassion to a broken world, a world that needs to see love, compassion, and mercy. May we go forth as brothers and sisters of Christ and proclaim to the world not so much by our words, but by our deeds, so that others may know the God we serve this day and always. Amen. Amen.